Hello everybody, so today we are going to do our flyers class. Okay, so please take out the correct book. It should be your workbook number 2. Workbook number 2 for your flyers, okay? And then for your activity book, okay, your activity book should look something like this. Oh, there's nothing, maybe this one. Alright, so it should look like this one, right? The flyers activity book. Alright, fantastic flyers, okay? So for our workbook, we will have quite a lot of pages to do. I did the same thing on the whiteboard. So we will do page 9, page 10, and page 11. 3 pages. I will show you on our workbook which pages these are. So page 9, we have a listening exercise, reading and just reading actually. And then reading and writing, another listening, right? And then on page 11, we have a listening and writing exercise. Okay, page 11, we have a listening and writing exercise. After this, we will go to our activity book. Okay, maybe yours is different or same. Alright, activity book, we will go to page 26, alright? On page 26, we have a crossword puzzle, so just reading. Part 2, writing, and then listening on page 29, writing as well, and then some reading part. So not a lot, but some things to do, because we will have to explain some parts of the lesson today and talk about it and discuss. Okay? Before we start our class, I would like to take the time for us to look at the TV. Okay, look at the TV. Today's So today's lesson is about jobs and work. Jobs and work. Job and work mean the same thing, okay? So jobs is the kind of jobs that you have, the work that you do. What kind of job do you have? Alright, Mr. Joe, what kind of job do you have? Outside Learning Grace, I work in marketing in an office, right? So outside Learning Grace, I work in an office. Inside Learning Grace, I work as a teacher. So I have 2 jobs and I work 2 different jobs, right? So work and jobs can be the same thing. So now look at this picture. Can I zoom? Oh, this is the biggest. Okay, so this picture, right, this one. What is this person doing? He is acting, right? He is acting. So what is his job or his work? An actor. Actor. Okay, actor. A-C-T-O-R. Actor. Now, where can we find this word? Where can we find this word? Okay, so if you go to your book, okay, on your book, page 19. Open your book to page 19. Open your book to page 19 and you can find the first one, okay? So we will talk about the first part here, 1 to 10. We will only talk about 1 to 10 for today, okay? Then the rest is for the next lessons, okay? Alright, so here we have an actor, okay? The first one, number 1, actor, right? Actor. Let's move on to the next one, okay? So here, right, we have a place where people will stay before they ride a plane, right? What do we call this place? We call this an airport, right? Airport. So these people are traveling, right? They are called travelers or passengers. They will stay in the airport, wait for their time, and then they can fly on an airplane to go to a different country or city, okay? Airport. Alright, next one after airport is the ambulance. Ambulance, okay? So sometimes ambulance in the streets, right, they're very loud. You can hear them wee-woo, right, outside in the streets. That's because they're helping people, right, to save their lives, okay? So they have sirens, this one. The light on top that goes very loud, right? These will tell the cars in front and behind that they have to go to the hospital quickly or go to the home of who is sick quickly. So they will give them way, okay? So this is an ambulance. Ambulance. A-M-B-U-L-A-N-C-E. Ambulance. Ambulance, okay? Alright, next one. Question number 4. Number 4. We have this word, artist. Artist. So you know the word art, right? Art is like painting, drawing, sculpture, okay? And this is an artist, okay? So an artist can be for man and woman, okay? Artist, artist. She's painting art, okay? Next one we have astronauts or astronauts, okay? Astronauts. Let me find another picture. Maybe this one's good. Right. There's a baby astronaut. Okay. Alright, so we have two kinds of astronauts, right? We have a lady astronaut, right? We will call her just an astronaut, right? A lady astronaut, okay? And then we have, oops, how do I don't need this.
Continue.
Quiet. Alright, okay, and then this one we have funny astronauts doing many things, right? Carrying some rocks, right? Saying hello. Dancing, maybe. Astronauts. Astronauts are people who travel into space, right? They go to the moon, to different planets, into the space, and do some research, okay? Research. We can also have a female astronaut, okay? Not just men. Female and male, okay? Oopsie, I crossed that out. Okay, next one is business, okay? A business, okay? So business is, what's a business? Right, people, how they earn money, okay? So McDonald's is a business. Why? Because the people who own McDonald's, right, they can earn money from selling food. Okay? So everything is a business. Even learning Grace, right? The school is also a business, right? You have to pay tuition to learn, okay? And also maybe swimming pool is also a business. You have to pay to go inside the swimming pool. So we have a business. And inside a business we have two types of people, a businessman and businesswoman, okay? So here we have businessman, okay, and then businesswoman, okay? Businessman and businesswoman, okay? So these two people, they can own the company, they can own the business, right? And then they will earn the money if we spend, okay? Alright, next one is a circus, right? In the circus, we can find a lot of animals and performers, okay? So here, like this one, we have a clown, some animals, right? And in some circus, we have people performing, right? We have people performing. Clowns, maybe. Sometimes some kind of dancers, right? Many people performing in a circus. Strongman over here. Some magician, right? A circus like this. Right? Okay, next one after circus is a cook, okay? A cook or a chef, okay? These are two different things. A chef is professional. Chef is like the highest rank. Cook, oops, I don't know what this says. It's in Chinese. Let me just go this one. A cook is someone who can cook at home, right? Or can cook in restaurants, right? But a chef is the highest one. Chef is like your boss, okay? So your chef is your boss, he can cook as well. But you are only a cook, not a chef. So you can be a chef or you can be a boss, okay? Alright, so this is a cook, a lady cook. Or you can also have a man as a cook, right? Okay, interesting, right? So many kinds of jobs that you want to be. Many kinds of jobs, right? That you might be when you grow up. Even teacher or something else, right? Like me, I'm a teacher, but I'm also working in an office, right? Okay, so now let's move on to page 9 of our book. Where is she? Page 9. All right. So on page 9, right?
Show the page 9.
Okay. Yes, I know. I was showing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. On page 9, please. Alright, so, everyone on page 9, we have a story, okay? So we will listen, and then we will look at the pictures, and then we will read it afterwards, okay? So we will listen and then we will read as well. Listen and read, okay? Listen and read. Alright, so we have 3 pictures here. Let's look at the pictures and see what's going to happen, alright? So in picture 1, we have 2 boys, right? They are the same boys that we saw last time. Let me go back and see what page was that. Right, page 1, right? Page 1 we have David, right? So this must be David. David in picture 1 on page 9 and his friend, I think that is Robert, right? David and Robert. They are playing some games. What kinds of games are they doing, right? Alright, and then picture 2 we can see David maybe asking someone questions with something in his hand. That's a recorder, okay? A tape recorder. And then here we can see David trying to talk to a clown, I think, or someone who wants to be a clown, right? So let's try to listen to the story. Afterwards, let's read it together, and then answer part 2 together. Understand? Okay, so let's play the recording. Flyers. Where is flyers? Alright. Part 2.
Fantastic flyers.
Not that one. Alright, so you can try to read quietly in your head while you are listening, okay? And then we will read again together later. Are you ready? Okay, let's read.
Lesson 1. Activity 1. Listen and read.
One day, David took his tape recorder to school. At lunchtime, he walked around the playground asking lots of questions. First, he turned on the tape recorder and he asked Robert, "Robert, what do you want to do when you leave school?" Robert replied, "I'm going to be a footballer. I'm going to play for my town. I'm going to wear a blue and white striped shirt." "Okay, thank you," said David. Then he asked the same question to Harry. "I'm going to go to college," said Harry. "I want to be an actor. I'm not going to work in the theatre. I'm going to be on television. I'm going to be famous." "Very interesting," said David. Then he saw Katie on the swing. He asked, "What are you going to do when you leave school, Katie?" "I want to work in a circus," she said. "I'm going to be a clown. I'm going to have orange hair and a big red nose. I'm going to make people laugh." David laughed. "That's great. Thank you," he said. He turned the tape recorder off and started to write in a book. "What are you doing?" asked Katie. "Why are you asking so many questions?" "I'm trying to find out which jobs children want to do," said David. "I'm going to write about it and send it to the newspaper. I want to be a journalist when I leave school."
Okay, so let's try to read it. Well, okay, each paragraph one by one. Okay, so paragraph 1. One day David took his tape recorder to school. What is a tape recorder? Okay, tape recorder is used to record people's voice. Okay, so you can ask them a question and then you record it, and then when you forget, right, you can listen to the tape recorder again so you can listen to what they said. Okay? At lunchtime, he walked around the playground asking lots of questions. First, he turned on the tape recorder and asked Robert, "Robert, what would you want to do when you leave school?" Robert replied, "I'm going to be a footballer. I'm going to play for my town. I'm going to wear a blue and white striped shirt." Okay? Next one. "Okay, thank you," said David. Then asked the same question to Harry. "I'm going to college," said Harry. What is college? C-O-L-L-E-G-E on second paragraph. College, line number 3. What is college? Alright, college is the school after secondary school, okay? In Hong Kong, we call that university, okay? University. So college is a different thing here in Hong Kong, right? College is 2 years, university is 4 years. So you can either go to college or university after secondary school. "I want to be an actor. I'm not going to work in theater. I'm going to be on television. I'm going to be famous." Okay? So he says he wants to be an actor, but actors can also act in TV, on the TV, or in the theater. Theater is like acting real life, right? Acting in real time. People will watch you while you're acting. But in TV is all recorded, right? Alright, paragraph 3. "Very interesting," said David. Then he saw Katie on the swing. He asked, "What are you going to do when you leave school, Katie?" "I want to work in a circus," said she. Or she said, "I'm going to be a clown." Right, and then picture 3 you can see a clown. I'm going to have orange hair and a big red nose. I'm going to make people laugh. Alright, so clowns are what we hire in parties, birthday parties, to make people laugh, right? Do you laugh when you see clowns? No, right? Some people find clowns very scary. I find clowns scary, not funny. Alright, number 4, paragraph 4. David laughed. That's great, thank you. He said he turned the tape recorder off and started to write in a book. What are you doing? Asked Katie. Why are you asking so many questions? I'm trying to find out which jobs children want to do, said David. I'm going to write about it and send it to the newspaper. I want to be a journalist when I leave school. Journalist. On the last paragraph, on the last line, I want to be a journalist. Journalist. What is a journalist? Journalist. 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 Alright, a journalist is someone who does research to find news, to make news, okay? So there are TV reporters, right? In the TV we can see reporters. Those reporters are also called journalists. We have journalists in TV and journalists in newspapers, okay? Alright, so we finished looking at the pictures and reading the paragraphs, alright? Now let's move on and write down yes or no in part 2. Right, so let's read the questions together. Part 1, question number 1. Part 2, question number 1. Robert wants to be a footballer. Robert wants to be a footballer. Footballer. Yes or no? Yes, right? Robert wants to be a footballer. So it should be yes, okay? Really easy. Write down yes. Alright, question number 2. Harry's going to the university. Harry's going to university. Is he going to university? No, right? He's going to college. Colleg. Oh, sorry. It should be no. He's going to college. Let me just write that down. University does not equal college, okay? College is only 2 years, okay? After secondary school, you go to college, you study for 2 years. You get a degree. If you go to university after secondary school, you study for 4 years, 5 years, sometimes even 8 or 9 or 10 years, depending on what you want to study. If you want to study to become a doctor, sometimes you need 5 to 8 years to study, right? After secondary school. Alright, next one. Harry wants to work in the theater. Harry wants to work in the theater, is that right? No, right? Harry wants to work as an actor on the television, not the theater. Number 4, Katie's going to work in an office. Katie's going to work in an office. Yes or no? No, she's going to work in a circus. In a circus, right? And is she going to make people laugh? Number 5, make people laugh? Yes, she is going to make people laugh as a clown. As a clown, right? Question number 6. David wants to be a doctor. Yes or no? No, David wants to be a journalist, right? He wants to be a journalist. So check your answers, okay? The first one is yes, right? Robert wants to be a footballer. Question number 2 is no. Harry will go to the college, not university. The third one is no, he's going to work in television. Fourth one is no, she's going to work in a circus. Fifth one is yes, because she is a clown, she's going to make people laugh. And lastly, no, David wants to be a journalist, not a doctor. Alright? Easy? Alright, good. So now let's go to page 10, okay? Page 10, let's try to complete the sentences on page 10. Alright, so same thing here on the whiteboard. Refer to your book if you get confused, okay? So complete the sentences. We will write down the answer together. So in the first thing David did, what was the first thing David did? What did he do? The first thing. What did he turn on? David turned what? Turned his phone on? Alright, David turned on his tape recorder. Tape recorder. Why did he turn on his tape recorder? Because he wanted to record people's answers about what they want to be when they grow up. Alright, what about number 2? Number 2. Robert's going to wear a what? Robert. He says he was going to wear something, right? As a footballer. Wear a blue and white striped shirt. S-H-I-R-T. You should know how to spell shirt, right? From starters. We learned it before. Alright. A blue and white striped shirt. What does striped mean? Striped means like this, okay? A red and white striped shirt. That's what stripes mean, okay? Stripe. Okay, what about number 3? David asked the same, what do you ask? The same questions, right? Questions. The same questions. What do you want to do when you leave school? What do you want to work as when you leave school? Okay, number 4. Number 4. Katie wants to work where?
In the circus.
Right, in a circus, right? In a circus. Katie wants to work in a circus because she wants to be a clown, right? And then she is going to make what? She's going to make, what will she make from the passage? Make
people laugh.
Right, very good. Make people laugh. She's going to make people laugh as a clown who is working at a circus. Lastly, number 6. David's trying to find. You can find the answer in the last paragraph. Find out which jobs children want to do. Right, you can find this in the last paragraph. Find out what jobs children want to do. Alright, so check your answers, okay? Check your answers. Number 1, on his tape recorder. Turned on his tape recorder. Right, number 2, Robert's going to wear a blue and white striped shirt and then ask the same questions. Katie wants to work in the circus and make people laugh, for number 5, and find out, right? David wants to find out what jobs children want to do when they grow up, alright? Okay? Alright, so now let's go to part 2, okay? Part 2 we have 8 pictures, okay? Same as your book here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, okay? So let's try to look at picture A. Picture A. What job is picture A? Astronaut, right? Astronaut. The one that travels to space. Astronaut. And then B. What is B? B is a cook or a chef. Cook or a chef. Okay, C. What is C? Right? Someone is opening their mouth and there's a kind of doctor looking at the teeth, right? So the doctor of teeth is a dentist. Very good. Doctor of the teeth is a dentist. And then picture D is a firefighter or a fireman or a firefighter. Fireman. Letter E, a driver of a plane. Driver of a plane are called pilots. Okay, pilots. Pilots. In each plane, in one airplane, there should always be 2 pilots. Okay, 2 pilots. And the next one, we have someone driving a police car. So that would be a policeman or a policewoman. Okay. And then G is someone trying to take the orders of the people ordering food. Right, they are called waiter for men, waitress for women. Waiter for men, waitress for women. And then we have a person behind the camera. We call them a cameraman or camera woman, okay? So this is a lady, so camera woman, right? Okay, so what you should do here is you have to write down the numbers of which one comes first. For example, you ask someone and then someone says, I want to be a camera woman. So you put number 1 in H. And then ask a different person, Johnny wants to be a cook. So number 2 at B. Okay, for example only. Or you can write the letters A, C, D, F, H. Okay, the letters also works, or the numbers. Alright. So now let's listen carefully to the recording and then order the cards. Okay, you can write down the numbers inside the picture. Or write down the letters in somewhere else. Alright? I'll play it once. I will start now.
Unit 4, Lesson 2, Activity 2. Listen and order the cards.
What does your dad do?
He works in a restaurant. He's a waiter, but he helps in the kitchen too. He wants to be a cook.
What does your mum do?
She's a policewoman.
Does she wear a uniform?
Yes, she does. She wears a blue skirt, a blue jacket, and a silver and blue hat.
Does she like her job?
Yes, but she wants to be a photographer.
Uh-huh.
She goes to evening classes. She loves taking photos.
And what about you? What are you going to do when you leave school?
Me? Well, Mum and Dad want me to be a dentist. But I want an exciting job. I want to be a fireman or an astronaut and visit other planets. But I think I'm going to be a pilot.
Okay, so let's try to answer it together. So the first one is, what does your dad do? My dad is a waiter. He works in a restaurant. So the first one should be G. Right, the first one is G. And then he continued to say, but my dad doesn't like his job. He wants to be a cook in the kitchen. So number 2 is B, right? And then they ask him, what about your mom? What does your mom do? My mom is a policewoman. She wears a uniform, so it should be F, right? But I think she wants to be a photographer. Sorry, that's not a camera person, right? It's a photographer, not a cameraman on the TV. This is a photographer, so it should be 4. H is 4. And then after that, they asked him what he wanted to be. And then he said, my parents want me to be a dentist, right? A dentist. Or something extreme like a fireman. But I really want to travel, right? Go to space. So 7, as an astronaut, but I think I will only be a pilot because astronaut is too much, right? Alright, so it should be numbered like this or lettered down. So G, B, F, where's number 4? H, C, D, A, E, okay? Or the letters like that, okay? Alright, so check your answers, please. I'll go around. Alright, guys, check your answers and see if you were wrong. Okay, alright, good work. So now let's move on to the next page. Now we have to do a lot of writing, okay? Quite a lot of writing. So on page 11, we have a listening exercise, and then we will read the question and then write down our answers, okay? Alright, so same thing here on the whiteboard. You can refer to your book as well. So we have 5 questions right inside the box here, 5 questions. Let's all read them together, okay? So number 1, what happened at the factory? What happened at the factory? So now we know the building behind the car. The building behind the cars is a factory, right? And what happened to it? Number 2, who is in the ambulance? Whose means who is, okay? So you remove is and then you put apostrophe S. Who's in the ambulance? So we're looking for people, right? How many people, what kind of people are they? Are they a waiter, waitress, doctor, singer? What kind, right? And then number 3, what's the journalist doing now? Alright, do we remember the word journalist and what it means? The word journalist. Journalist, journalist. These are people who will report the news. They will write down something, right? They will write down and interview people so that they can make news, okay? So what is the journalist doing now? What's he doing? You can look at the photo. Question number 4, what's he going to do? What's he going to do, right? After what he's doing now, what will he do later? And then number 5, right? Number 5. What's the photographer going to do? Is there a photographer? Yes, there's a photographer in the picture, the girl, right? What is she going to do? So we will listen to the recording once, okay? Or maybe twice. Okay, I'll play it twice so you can listen and then write down the answers. And then you can listen and then check your answers, okay? So the first one, try to write down. The second time, try to check your answers. Alright, I will play the recording now, okay? So I'll play it twice. I'll give you around 30 seconds in between the first and second recording so you can finish your answers, alright? Okay, so are you ready? Take up your pencils, erasers, and then start writing. I'll play it now.
Unit 4, Lesson 3, Activity 1. Look and listen, then answer.
What's happening here?
Well, there was a fire at the factory and all the people had to come outside.
Can you see the fire engine?
Yes, there's a fire engine and there are 2 firemen.
How many people are in the ambulance?
There's a doctor and there are 2 people from the factory.
What's the man who's in front of the ambulance doing?
He's a journalist. He's talking to people. He's going to write a story about the fire. He works for the newspaper.
Oh. Who else can you see?
I can see a photographer. She's taking photos. She's going to sell the photos to the newspaper.
Okay, so you've heard all of the answers now. So can you write down the answers? Write down the answers. What's happened at the factory? I know, she left again. Just write down the answers, okay? So what happened at the factory? Okay. What happened at the factory? Write down your answers and then we will check them together. What happened at the factory? Okay, I'll give you 1 minute then. 1 minute to finish. And then we will play the answering, the recording together. Alright, question number 2. Who's in the ambulance? Who is in the ambulance? Okay, and then you can write down short answers, is okay. Question number 3. What is the journalist doing now? What's the journalist doing now? What's he doing? Is he singing? Is he talking to people? What's he doing? Okay, if you don't know, it's okay. You can listen again later and answer. Okay. What about question number 4? What's he going to do? What will he do after now? After that, what will he do? Right, if you don't know the answer, it's okay. You can listen again later and then write down. Alright, what about question number 5? What's the photographer going to do? What will the photographer do after doing what she did in the photo? What is she going to do now? Or after? What is she going to do? Okay, alright, so now let's check our answers, okay? Let's check our answers. So listen again, and then check your answers, and then I will write them down on the whiteboard, okay?
3. Unit 4, Lesson 3, Activity 1. Look and listen, then answer.
What's happening here?
Well, there was a fire at the factory and all the people had to come outside.
Alright, so what happened at the factory? There was a fire, right? That's your answer. There was a fire
In the factory.
at the factory. There was a fire at the factory. Okay, that's your answer. Let's listen forward.
Can you see the fire engine?
Yes, there's a fire engine and there are 2 firemen.
How many people are in the ambulance?
There's a doctor and there are 2 people from the factory.
Okay, so who's in the ambulance? Right, a
And
doctor.
2 people from the factory.
Right, a doctor and 2 people from the factory. Okay, just write down the word the factory. There's a doctor and 2 people from the factory. I have no space, like, right, the factory, and then you write it down. Alright, let's listen forward.
What's the man who's in front of the ambulance doing?
He's a journalist. He's talking to people. He's going to write a story about the fire. He works for the newspaper.
Alright, so that's 2 questions already answered. So for question number 3, let's listen again. Question number 3.
It's a story about the fire.
Not this one. Question number 3.
Journalist. He's talking to people.
Alright, so for number 3, what's the journalist doing now? He is talking to people. Why do you think he's talking to people? So that he can know, he can find out what is happening or what happened to the factory, why there is a fire. Now let's listen to number 4. What's he going to do?
He's going to write a story about the fire. He works for the newspaper.
So what's he going to do? He's going to write a story about the fire for the newspaper. Write a story about the fire for the newspaper, okay? What's he going to do? He's going to write a story about the fire for the newspaper. Right, quite a long sentence, so please write it down. Okay, continue.
Oh. Who else can you see?
I can see a photographer. She's taking photos. She's going to sell the photos to the newspaper.
What is she going to do? She's going to sell the photos. To the newspaper. So the man who is talking to people, we call that simply just a journalist, okay? A journalist, someone who will talk to people and then write down stories or news articles. For this photographer, she is also a journalist, okay? She is also a journalist. But instead of writing and talking to people, she takes photos instead and sells them to newspapers or news TV channels, okay? We call that photojournalism. She's a journalist, but she takes photos, not write stories, okay? So check your answers, please, for question number 1. There was a fire at the factory. Right, what happened at the factory? There was a fire at the factory. Number 2, who's in the ambulance? A doctor and 2 people from the factory. Number 3, what's the journalist doing? The boy journalist, right? He's talking to people. What's he going to do? He's going to write a story about the fire for the newspaper. Question number 5. What's the photographer going to do? Again, this photographer is also a journalist, right? She is a photojournalist. Photojournalist. She takes photos for news. And then she's going to sell the photos to the newspaper. Right? So two kinds of journalists. Writing stories and taking photos, okay? Alright, so now let's move on to page 28 and 29 of your activity book. Page 28 and 29 should look like this, okay? 28, 29. Let's skip page 28 and go straight to page 29. Go straight to page 29, everybody. So on page 29, I did here on our workbook, or on whiteboard, sorry. Page 29. Alright, so everyone go to page 29, please. Page 29, we have a listening exercise. Page 29. Alright, on page 29, we have the title. It's talking about jobs, right? Jobs. And what job are we talking about? The job is a pilot. A pilot. And what does a pilot do? Do you remember what a pilot does? A pilot is a driver of an airplane, okay? They drive the airplane, a pilot. So now we have to find out where they work. Do they work at the day or night? What kind of clothes do they wear when they work? Okay? What do they like to do or like doing? Okay? And if they had the choice, would they choose a different job or the same job? Okay? Okay? Would they choose the same job or a different job if they would choose? Alright, so listen carefully and write down the answers. I'll play it twice. The first time you write down the answer. The second time you check your answer, okay? Alright, so are you ready? Alright, I'll be playing it now, so take up your pencils.
Unit 4, Lesson 2. Activity 1. Listen and write.
Hello, Richard. Is your dad a pilot?
Yes, he is.
Where does he work?
Well, he starts at the airport, but he works all over the world.
Does he work at night?
Yes, he does. Sometimes he works in the day and sometimes in the night. He worked last night.
Oh. What does he wear?
He wears a blue uniform with gold stripes on the shoulder.
Does he like his job?
Yes, he does. He likes visiting different countries, but he gets very tired.
Do you want to do the same job?
No, I don't. I like drawing and painting. I want to be an artist.
Alright, okay, so I'll play the recording again. This time I will not stop it, I'll keep it going, and now you check your answers if you think you've made a mistake or need to change your answers, okay? So now I will play it one more time, please check your answers.
Unit 4, Lesson 2. Activity 1. Listen and write.
Hello, Richard. Is your dad a pilot?
Yes, he is.
Where does he work?
Well, he starts at the airport, but he works all over the world.
Does he work at night?
Yes, he does. Sometimes he works in the day and sometimes in the night. He worked last night.
Oh. What does he wear?
He wears a blue uniform with gold stripes on the shoulder.
Does he like his job?
Yes, he does. He likes visiting different countries, but he gets very tired.
Do you want to do the same job?
No, I don't. I like drawing and painting. I want to be an artist.
Okay. We have the answers already, alright? So let's check the answers. Alright, so his dad is a pilot, but where does he work? Where does his dad work? Right, at the airport, right? At the airport, okay? He works at the airport all over the world, okay? Alright, so number 3. When does he work, day or night? When does he work, day or night? Right, he works both. So he works both in the day and night. Works both day and night. Day and night. Okay, now let's go to his clothes. The kind of uniform his dad wears as he is a pilot. Clothes will be a blue uniform with golden, or you can also write gold, is okay. Stripes, okay? A blue uniform with gold or golden stripes. You can say gold or golden, it's both okay. And then they ask him, do you want to be a pilot too when you grow up? And he says, no, I don't want to be a pilot. I like drawing and painting. I like drawing and painting. He likes drawing and painting. You can't see it clearly. Drawing is D-R-A-W-I-N-G. And painting, P-A-I-N-T-I-N-G. Drawing and painting. Alright, so this question number 5 is about the boy, not the dad, okay? He likes drawing and painting. The boy likes drawing and painting. And then they ask the boy, do you want to have the same job as your dad or different? He says, no, I want to be an artist. Or you can say he wants to have a different job. So if you answer different, or if you answer an artist, both are correct. Okay? Alright, so check your questions. Question number 2, he works at the airport. Number 3, he works day and night. Number 4, he wears blue uniform with golden or gold stripes on his shoulders. Number 5, I like, right? So the boy likes to draw and paint. So drawing and painting. And he wants a different job, or he wants to be an artist. Okay? Alright, so now let's go to part 2. Read and choose the best answer. So now let's pretend like we are the boy, right? Read and choose. Question number 1. What does your dad do? A pilot. He does a pilot. He is a pilot. So it should be C, he is a pilot, right? Question number 2. Does he work at night? A, yes, he works. B, yes, he does. C, yes, he sometimes. What should it be? Does he work at night? It should be B, right? Because does he work at night? Yes, he does. Okay, the keyword here is does. Number 3. Did he work last night? Yes, he does. Yes, he worked. Yes, he did. Again, keyword is did. So it should be C. Yes, he did. Like in question number 2, does. And the answer is yes, he does. Did. Yes, he did. Same thing in number 4. The keyword is does. Does he like his job? A, yes, he likes. B, yes, he does. C, no, he didn't. Right? The answer should be B. Yes, he does. Okay? 2 is B, 3 is C, and 4 is B. Okay? Alright, so now let's go to page 28. Okay? Page 28, everybody. Page 28. Page 28. Alright, so on page 28 we have some sentences, right? sentences, and then we have to do the crossword puzzle. All right, so let's read the sentences, the questions. Number one. Okay, number one. You can listen to music on this. So that is a a tape recorder, right? A tape recorder. You can listen to music on tape recorders. Well, what about number two? Some people read this every day. What do some people read every day? Every morning it's a new thing. Old people love to read this.
Newspaper.
Nope, should have. Yes, newspaper. Yes, $2. Oh, it should be down here. Okay. Right, it's a newspaper. Sorry, it should be down here. Okay, so how do you write newspaper? How do you spell newspaper? The word news, right? N-E-W-S. And then we should all know how to spell paper, right? You're no longer primary one. Paper is P-A-P-E-R. Newspaper. Right, lots of old people, adults, they like to read newspaper in the morning when they have their breakfast. What about question number 3? Question number 3. Can you read question number 3 together with me? This person writes news stories. So the things we read in newspaper comes from this person. What do we call this kind of person? Right? If you don't know, you can go back to your workbook. Your workbook page 9, right? Page 9, workbook page 9. Something David wants to be. What does David want to be when he grows up? Right, it's journalist. Journalist. Can you read it with me together? Journalist. Okay, journalist. It is J-O-U-R-N. List. Journalist. Okay, journalist. Someone who writes stories for the news. Journalist. Or if you want to take photos, you can become a photojournalist. Photojournalist. Take photos. Alright, question number 4. You can see clowns here. Where can you go to see clowns? Right? You can also find the answer in page 9 of your book, your workbook. Right? Katie wants to work there. Or Kathy. Is it Kathy or Katie? It's Katie. Katie wants to work there. Where is it? Where does she want to work? Circus. Very good. So it's C-I-R-C-U-S. Circus. Right, you can see clowns and some kinds of animals and other performers in a circus. Alright. Circus. What about 5 down? 5 down. 5 going down, okay? 5 down. You can study here after you leave school. You can study here after you leave school. Again, you can find it on page 9 of your workbook. It is a college, okay? C-O-L-L-E-G-E. So a college is where you go after secondary school if you want to study just for 2 years, right? After 2 years, you go straight to work. College. But if you want to be a professional like a doctor, a teacher, a businessman, a businesswoman, what else? A nurse, okay? A journalist. You have to go to university. You study for 4 years or more. Alright, question number 6. Question number 6 down. 6 down, okay? The opposite of different. The opposite of different. If the opposite of tall is small, what is the opposite of different?
Same.
Right, good. Same. S-A-M-E. Right, same. Now we have the letter A from same. Now we know how to answer number 7. Alright, number 7. This person works in a theater or television. Letter A starting ends in R.
Actor.
Right, very good. Thank you. Actor. A-C-T-O-R. Actor can be boy and girl, right? Actor can be boy and girl. Actress is only for girl, okay? Actor can be boy and girl. Actress is for girl only. Okay, number 8. Okay, last one, number 8. Very easy. You can see actors here. Where can you go to see actors? It has a letter E in the middle, the third one, and ending in letter E.
Theater.
Very good. Theater. T-H-E-A-T-R-E. Now this is British English spelling. If you were in America, you can write theater like this. T-H-E-A-T-E-R, or in British English, T-H-E-A-T-R-E. So we will try to use this one always, right? The British English, because Hong Kong was colonized by the British, okay? So R-E. Also like in center, right? Center or meters. Right? In different countries you can write center and meter. Okay, so now let's go and finish part 2. Alright, part 2 of the book, and then we have no more homework to do. Right? Very good. So part 2. We will use the words here. We will use the words in exercise 1 to complete the sentences in part 2. Alright? So let's try to read together and write the answers as we go. At the end of the day, David listened to his tape recorder. So let's cross out number 1, tape recorder. We've done tape recorder. Alright, Robert wants to be a footballer, and Harry wants to go to... Where does he want to go to? Look at page 9 of your workbook. Harry, where does he want to go after studying?
College.
Right, he wants to go to college. So it's this one, number 5. Cross out number 5. This one. C-O-L-L-E-G-E. College. He wants to go to college. He wants to go to college. He wants to be an actor in films and TV. Number 7. Actor. A-C-T-O-R. Only one with a vowel start, right? So an actor. Alright, he doesn't want to work in the theater. Okay, number 8. Theater. T-H-E-A-T-R-E. Again, remember R-E because we are in Hong Kong. We use British English. Theater. Alright, Katie wants to be a clown and work in a circus. Right? We can see on our workbook, page 9, paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 3 or 4, right? She wants to work in a circus. Okay, next one. David wants to be a blank and write stories for a blank. Right. What does David want to be? Last paragraph. He wants to be a... How to read that word? Journalist. Number 3. Journalist. He wants to be a journalist and write stories for a... Where will you write stories? For a storybook if you're a journalist? No, for the newspaper. N-E-W-S-P-A-P-E-R. Newspaper. And lastly, that leaves us with what? What do you think? No one wants to do the same jobs, okay? So in all their groups of friends, all of them want to do different jobs, right? Footballer, actor, clown, and journalist, okay? So check your answers. Number 2, college. Number 3, actor. Number 4, theater, R-E. Remember, number 5, circus. Number 6, journalist. 7 is newspaper. And 8 is same. Alright, everyone. So that is it for today's class. We did this one, right? Workbook flyers, okay? Right, flyers, we did page 9, page 10, page 11, alright? And then on our activity book, we did page 28, right? We finished it just now. Crossword puzzle and writing. And then page 29 is the listening exercise and then the reading exercise, okay? So that's it for today, boys and girls. And I hope I can see you again next week. So if you have some homework you didn't finish last time, please go home and finish it, okay? Alright, thank you very much. Bye-bye.